Hey guys, what is going on? RedMaster here, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting Combos. This time taking a look at the new world. It's something that I believe a couple of people have looked into already. If you've crafted in your life, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, and you'll pretty much know what I talk about from the title of the video. But anyway, it is going to be the Druid Awakening deck. Something that, hasn't... It's very, very new, if anything. If people are trying it is a very kind of new and odd deck type for sure, but I did want to give it a try. I did want to see what it was all about, so I made myself a deck, and you will see the deck list momentarily. Just wanted to address a couple things before we jump right into the video, or really just one thing, and that is, given how I record these videos in sort of a backwards order, there's some continuity errors that you might notice throughout the video, and I'm going to kind of just address them right here at the beginning, so that way you guys can proceed kind of semi-enjoying the rest of the video, hopefully, unless the quality screws you up. So, there is going to be 3 games in this video, which, you could probably tell by probably the increased length of the video, maybe. It might be a little longer than how a normal hidden combo video works. And that is because I did do 3 games. Originally, I was planning to do 1, kind of like always. But I realized I was wearing the wrong headset, so the audio, I thought, was not going through. Turns out you can hear the audio, but just not at a good quality. Fix that, and, realize it by the end of the video, and you'll hear me in the outro kind of, realize my mistake. So anyway, the first half of that match is going to be a bit of a rougher audio quality. Hopefully that doesn't really distract you from the match. And then, yeah, going forward, I mentioned that the audio is bad, or you not be able to hear me, but turns out that was going to be a lie anyway. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the deck list of the Druid Awaken and show you guys what I came up with for this type of build. Alright, so here is the list. Now, of course, this is definitely a bit of a different Awakening deck than what you guys might be used to if you play the standard purple-red Awaken, if you have tried the Warlock Crusader Awaken, or even if you somehow still have a Pirate Awakening deck going inside of green-red. This one is definitely lacking in a lot of the Awakening elements that you're going to normally see in an Awakening deck. I mean, to be even called an Awakening deck is a bit of a rough name for it, because you only run about, I want to say, 5 different types of Awakening cards in here. You've obviously got Inner Life. Actually, probably no, make that 6, right? Yeah, 6. You got Inner Life, which is, of course, the newest card to foster the idea of a Druid Awakening. And then you've got Right and Saurus to rekindle that Awakening. And then you've also got Imp, Swords, and Headwood to support the Awakening side of things. Everything else is pretty much closer to the good stuff side of the deck, which you guys can obviously see. Cards like the Rampage of Bestial Rage, Lumberjack, Darkbender, Mordok, Ranger, Fenrir, Centaur, all kind of the normal-ish good things that you might see in other decks that might play the same types of colors. But there is kind of a main difference with this deck than in others that I kind of wanted to address in, this portion of the video, and that is the inclusion of Rat King and Fat Bard. Now, you guys might have noticed the Rat King pop up here and there in, a couple of my other decks, and it's been a card that has been, kind of put out there as a decent defending potential card, but I do think it works here primarily because of the Inner Life and its more global buff. It gives more of a global buff rather than just a single target Awakening. So you have the Rat King, you play that there, you throw Inner Life, then all those rats getting the Armory buff without actually having armor in the field, and that can of course grow exponentially over time. So Rat King pretty much is the token part of the deck that benefits off of Inner Life. Fat Bard I did throw in here as well, even though that's a lot of upkeep in the deck. I think, with upkeep 2 for each Rat King and an upkeep 1 for each Fat Bard. I mean, Fat Bard, you can kind of already tell, replaces my Blacksmith. Normally I do like to throw Blacksmith over Fat Bard, but with the idea of like gaining a lot of global buffs here, and stat-wise, it just makes things cleaner, I guess, in my book, to have cards that are well, I guess you're getting a bit more health than you would with Blacksmith here, and that kind of does work with the Inner Life. Again, not something I normally bounce to right away, but I did want to give it a try here and see how it would benefit the Druid Awakening deck. Uh, and then that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Everything else, again, self-explanatory in the list. There's not really much that I can individually pick out. I mean, probably the Ranger. The Ranger I don't normally throw into decks, but I think he, is the bit of extra muscle that I need here in place of a Sentry Golem. That probably what you would normally see in an Awakening deck. So, yeah, Ranger probably providing the extra muscle to the deck. But that is going to do it for the list itself. Kind of a brief explanation there. I do want to hop right into the gameplay. Remember, the first one is going to have a bit of a rougher audio quality for the first half of it. But hopefully you guys do enjoy anyway. So hold up. Let's take you to match number 1 right now and see what went down. Oh boy, my English is awful. Alright, here we go. Let me go ahead and toss out these cards. I don't think... Hold up, my thing is... It's like the first bit of the video that I'm recording, and I just realized my camera's like not even present. Fantastic. How do I want to play this? Let me go ahead and bring out the Flame Prince. I'm feeling lucky with him. And I see yellow blue. It doesn't scream a lot to me, personally, but we'll see what happens. So that's a thing. Do I want to do that? You know what? I think I do. Imp. We'll give him the draw. And I'll still have this Flame Prince growing, so... Imp I didn't really want to sacrifice there, but let me get a little bit of pressure off my face with that. So that's good. Guardian. Oh. Do I want to play Fat Bard? Yeah, I do. I do want to play Fat Bard. I'm a little more aggressive than usual in this game, but I think it's important, at least in this element, to be a bit more aggressive with this deck, because it does run a bit unconventional to the standard. What the hell do I call it? Standard Awakening. That's what. Oh, I'm going to screw myself up here with the upkeep. I'm going for it. Okay. So I am playing a bit rougher than I normally do here. Put this down here because it's such a. Wait, am I even? You can't even hear me. What am I talking about? Hello? Oh, I had the wrong headset in for like the entire time. Fantastic. So you didn't hear any of what I probably just went over, which is fine, but I'll have to explain that in the opening of the video because I don't want to lose. I mean, this is decent footage, right? Although the upkeep is really hammering me down. Paladin, hit the Rat King. Oh, thank you. I didn't didn't expect him to actually hit the Rat King. That's very useful to me. Ooh. Let me move this back a little bit here. And then take a moment to just get Darkbender out here. Think that's the play to make. I don't want to line up anything for lightning over here, so not a good idea to just throw out a rat and hit face, even though it's more damage. I could have done Fat Bard, another one, to make these rats stronger, but I feel like there's no real need to. Stables would have been nice if that had movement to it, I'll tell you that much. I was gonna say, can I get lucky and hit the armory maybe? But no. Alright, so there are some big rat knights going on here. It would really be nice if I can actually grab a, what you call it? If I can grab a Headwood, that's what I really want to see. I'll do that. Move him back. I don't know. I don't want to go too aggressive. We'll get the Fenrir going. We'll get a bit of build going for this. Again, I want to see a Headwood, though. Because right now, the way he's keeping things very close by, very shielded. Excellent for, I don't even know what I was about to say. Excellent for Headwood. I just blanked out on this game so hard. Let's see here. I could probably do a little bit of something like this, right? I'm just gonna slowly build up a Headwood, or no, a Fenrir. Fenrir for the win. That's what our plan of attack is here. Do that. And hit face for game. Alright. So, pretty efficient game. I had the inner life decision in my hand to make. I could have played it for the Saurus, but I don't think that would have gotten us any. It wouldn't have gotten us the win there. And I do apologize for the beginning of that game. The whole game, I felt a little uneasy due to the fact that I was missing audio for half of that. But I'll make do with it. I'll inform you. You probably have already heard my warning at the beginning of this. Then where the beginning is like no sound. But hey. We got our match in. A bit rough again, like I mentioned, but overall, it shows a slight bit of potential. I don't think it's a very strong deck. I will tell you guys that it's not a very very strong deck type. But that's just the nature of this. Druid Awaken is not something that's kind of developed yet, but something people have tried it with the Inner Life. Of course, if they have it, they put some kind of thought, I guess, into it, because it is something to consider with Inner Life being a new Druid Awaken, but again, not a very super strong deck to kind of move towards right now, because Druid Awaken is very undeveloped as of now, at least. We'll see if they get any sort of extra push maybe in the near future, but right now with this deck, I think it's iffy at best. It's not super reliable, but hey. It is a possibility now to mess with Druid Awaken, and if you were already kind of doing that before, I mean, the Inner Life is just going to reinforce you now, but still very undeveloped in my opinion. But overall, it can be done. It not something that doesn't exist, it can be done. Alright, so let's try game number 2, now that I actually have the right headset in, and I've kind of just collected myself after the rough opening in that last match. And I wouldn't say the game itself was rough by any means, but the fact that I didn't have my audio working properly, and I didn't realize it until about like halfway into that matchup, it definitely got me a little bit shaken. But let's hopefully try that again. We're going up against a Druid Crusader, which is interesting to see. I'm going to go ahead and play the Metal Flame Prince, because I do have a follow-up with the Imp on the next turn, so I'm not really concerned with losing that medallion, even though, yes, it could facilitate something down the line, like perhaps like a Headwood play, or like a Headwood right play. I'm fine with taking the loss because I do have the Imp to kind of rebound myself. I think I have to do this and just see where he takes it. My idea is that he's going to hit the Flame Prince, seeing that it's open. And then my idea, hopefully, is to hit the Wolf with a Mischievous Imp Fire. We'll see what happens. Spiny going to reject me from that. Then he's going to hit the Flame Prince, right? Yep. Alright, that's fine. I mean, that does give me more leeway, though, to play the Rat King, then, for this turn. Of course, we kill off the Wolf without any sort of beast enchantments, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to go ahead and play a Rat here and set up for an Armory potentially next turn. We'll see what he kind of throws out our way. And, of course, that's why I like Rat King in this deck. He can fit so well as a defensive card, and that kind of goes for any deck that you kind of see him in. Alright, so we're going to keep a Bear Hog down here. I guess I'm going to respond to that with a Dark Bender. I mean, he's got no movement buffs in these colors, so this guy shouldn't be running at us. And now with Dark Bender, that's just a big old threat right to the board there that I don't think these colors really have a direct way to get rid of. Alright, so I guess we can take the opportunity now to... I'm going to play Centaur just to mess him up a little bit here, throw off the Bear Hog play. He's got 2 Rangers, though, so we'll see how he handles it. I imagine he's going to go ahead and kill off the Centaur with one of them. That gives me a chance to armor up, potentially, and we'll take that opportunity. Yep, there's the Ranger. Oh. Wait, where are you? What was the play there? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what his play was. All right, so that happened. Let's just get into match number 3 then. This is gonna be 3-match video because second one, my word, that was fast. Alright, so our hand does not look like it's in a good starting place. Let's cycle out all of that. Flame Prince, Rat King, Defective, and Darkbender, not bad. Ranger, I would have honestly liked something else besides the Ranger, but we'll go with it. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a bit of a tougher match for us. We're going up against green and yellow, so the idea kind of screams greed. We'll see what his plan, though, is, because he hasn't played anything the first 2 turns, which is, you know, it could just be a bad draw. That can happen sometimes. Knight of Flower is going to be the card from our opponent that gets thrown out. I'm kind of cautious to use the Defective Flame Cannon. I want to, but then it also leaves his greed kind of, you know, or his school deck kind of open. Let's play Imp, though, because I definitely want to play that regardless. And then I do think I'm going to play our Defective Flame Cannon to get rid of that Knight. I mean, yeah, I could have just given him the potential to safely play School, but I do have Centaur and more Defectives in this deck. Stables, though, Stables tells me something else entirely. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm going to go ahead and play our Darkbender while we have an opportunity. But Stables definitely points to the idea of just more of a Knight-based deck, which is interesting. Haven't seen Knights, you know, play like this in a while. We'll see what kind of happens, what unfolds. Okay. Think I have a game plan. We're going to hit face there. And I know, it's kind of risky with the Darkbender here. But I'm going to play Rat King, which goes and protects the Darkbender. And then get another Flame Prince building in the back here. So we are pushing a bit aggressively with the Flame Prince, Darkbender. If he wants to... Okay, Paladin. Paladin gets rid of that. Okay. And there's our Centaur anyway, so glad we have that. Let's go ahead and knock down this Paladin a bit here. We're going to take the more sacrificial route with the Rat King rather than going for damage. But we are going to go ahead and protect ourselves a little bit here. We're going to go and coin out a Headwood to have that on the board, so that way we can get a Headmaster pop next game, and hopefully, with the combination of damage we're going to bring out to the table, we can potentially end this game. We'll see what he throws out, though. Dwarven Miner, yeah, he realizes the mistake there. He didn't move the Miner to properly defend himself. And that actually leaves a great Headwood burst damage for us. Yeah. Perfect. We'll take that. Can we actually end the game here? I think we can. Darkbender, yeah. Ooh. Should I risk it? Or should I just end it with... Nah, I'll just end it with the Centaur to be safe. Actually, this is an Awakened deck. Let's just go for it. Yeah, well, we went for it. I was like, we could play the safe route with Centaur, but nah, let's go ahead and just clean house with the SARS. Go for it, you know? We could have just easily guaranteed ourselves victory, but hey, we gotta live a little bit dangerously sometimes. It actually completes both my quests, too, which is a nice way to end off this video. And actually is very counterintuitive to what I said at the end of the first match. I was not a very strong deck, but it did just clean house in 3-0 games. Granted, the second game was a bit rushed, and I think there was a pretty heavy mistake in that game that just... I mean, you could have kept going. I don't see why. You know, you can't just go for it. But you know what? I'm not the player on the opposite end, so some people have different thought processes. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this demonstration of the Awakened deck. Definitely something to maybe think about. Again, I'm still going to kind of reinforce what I said, though. It's not a super strong deck. Obviously, because Druid Awaken is very, very undeveloped. It's only got one card that really gives off the idea that, hey, you can probably combine these two factions, and that is the new Inner Life card. But honestly, I wouldn't place all my bets on making this deck, because it's something that you kind of mess around with. If you're a big fan of Awakening, sure, maybe you can go ahead and try it, but again, not something that I recommend taking to the top of the competitive play here, because you're not going to have a very reliable, consistent win rate with it, for sure. Alright, so just went back to that footage of the first game. Turns out you actually could hear me, just in a lower audio quality, so apparently with me shouting at you for the past 3 games that you might have not able to hear me on the first match was a complete lie. But still, I guess the audio, you could hear a notable audio quality difference, so I do apologize for that. But anyway, that's going to do it for the Druid Awakening deck. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to give this video a like, share, and comment down below what you think of the Druid Awaken. Are you going to try it? Are you going to kind of let it develop more? Definitely know, or let me know your thoughts about the deck in the comment section below. Again, I don't think it's a very competitive deck, not one that you can just jump right into the competitive scene with. It will take some more developing, and hopefully maybe with the release of Inner Life, we can potentially start to see more Druid Awakening cards down the road. Although that is going to be a weird combination for sure, having Druid Awakening. And I don't even know if Inner Life is going to be like the top tier card of that, even, which it definitely is not. I'm calling it right now. Inner Life is not going to be the be all and end all of Druid Awaken. There's probably going to be a bit more to the deck if they go through with even flourishing that kind of that deck type. So we'll see what just happens. It's a matter of time, I guess, at this point. But we definitely know that there is something in the works there. But with that being said, if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well while you're down, leaving a comment. Show your support the channel, help us grow by clicking that subscribe button, no additional cost to you. And that's going to do it for me for now. So, until next time, guys, stay gaming.